Hi, let's get started with this new PowerPoint animation tutorial. We call it moving grunge text. So let's go and first see how it looks like. Here is the end result, and with one click you can see it moves towards center, the text gets enlarged, and there's a sort of a grunge element to that, and it comes back to its own position with all the grunge text removed. Let's see how it looks like with different background colors. Once more with a black background, and once more. So how did we create this one? So to get started, let's just go and take one of these slides. Maybe I'm just going to take the black slide, press Ctrl D, the keyboard shortcut, to duplicate my slide. And we have the selection pane visible here. If you want to get the selection pane, you go to the Home tab, choose the select option and say selection pane, and there it goes. As you can see, there are a lot of freeform shapes over here that I'm selecting and moving. So let's go and hide them for now, or let's just go and delete all of them. Selecting on the selection pane also selects it on the slide. So what I'm doing, I've selected the first shape and I'm control clicking on other individual shapes to get rid of all of them. I've selected all of them except the text box, and I'm now going to hit the delete button, and there you go. And let's also go to the animation tab, choose the animation pane, and you can see there's animation applied to the text over here. So I'm going to select the animations and remove them as well. So as of now, we have nothing here, we just have a plain text on the slide. Okay, since I wanted a blocky text, something which has got thick letters, I've used Arial Black as my font. If you want to choose something different, that's great too, but try to use a font that's got thick letters. Now we're going to start first by adding some animation to the text. To do that, I go to the animations tab, choose add animation, and I'm going to go and choose grow and shrink. Okay, that's how it's going to work. So let's go and play it once. So it actually goes and enlarges the text by default, but it doesn't go and make it small back again like how we want. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the animation pane and double click on the animation, and then we're going to go to the effect tab, and there's an option here called auto reverse. So let's just go and choose auto reverse and hit OK. And now as you see, it's grows and it shrinks back to its original size, and that's what we want. But what we also want is that when the text grows and shrinks back, we want it to move it towards the top center of the slide and go back to the bottom of the bottom right side of the slide when it's reversing. To do that, we need to add a motion path animation. We're going back to the animations tab of the ribbon, add animation, and I'm just going to take a basic line motion path animation. It's been added, and you can see that the green dot is where the motion path animation is starting, and the red dot is where it is ending. Let's play it and see. It really wouldn't work much. Okay, it's waiting for the grow and shrink to finish, and then it's going to play with the motion path. So first let's go and change the direction of the motion path. I don't want it to go off the slide, so I'm going to select the red handle, that's the end point, and drag it to somewhere around here. Okay, and now let's play it again, and the first is your grow and shrink animation. It grows and then shrinks, and then the motion path, and that's great, but I want the object to have a reverse motion path as well, and we're going to do more or less the same thing what we did with the grow and shrink animation. In the animation pane, we're going to double click on this animation and again choose the option that says auto reverse, and so we have exactly what we want at this point in time. So let's go and see what we have now. So it grows and then it shrinks back, and then it moves on another click to almost the center of the slide and moves back to its original position. Now we want both of these animations to happen together at the same time. Luckily, as you can see, the duration of the animations is the same. How do I know the exact duration? I can just go and hover my cursor over this, and then you can see it says starts at 0 seconds and ends at 4 seconds. But when you go and see the duration over here, it says 2. So why is it 4 seconds? Because it's an auto reverse. It goes and plays for 2 seconds and takes another 2 seconds to reverse it back to its original position. And the same thing happens for the motion path. That's 4 seconds too. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our motion path animation, and for the on start option there, I can just go and say with previous. Yes, I could go and choose with previous the event on the animations tab of the ribbon, or I could also go and double click this option over here and go to timing and choose from, rather than on click, I could choose after previous. Both of them have the same result. It says on click here, but after I choose the after previous option and click OK, this becomes after previous as well. So now we've sort of reached to what we exactly want with the text now. So on one click, it actually moves up, goes back, and then goes there and goes there. So this is actually set to after previous. And that's not what we actually wanted. What we want is for them to happen together. So rather than choosing the after previous option, I'm going to choose a with previous option. That was a great way to show you what all the 3 events are. On click is when the animation happens when you click your mouse or whatever you have. If you're using a tablet, you tap it. After previous is an animation that happens after the previous animation is over. And with previous is something that happens when the previous animation is playing. So both the animations or any number of animations play together. So I'm choosing with previous now. Let's go and play it again. There you go. We sort of have exactly what we're looking for. And that's a good speed, but if you want, we could change the speed. We could increase, just go here and drag it as you want. I'm going to press undo, or I could also go and change the duration here. I could also add a delay, but that's something we won't cover now. So now let's go and see what we originally had here. So you had all these grunge elements on top. You're going to create them. So how do you create them? You could just go to the home tab and you have the shape gallery there, and I'm going to choose the option that says freeform shape. It is within lines, so I choose the freeform shape option, and I'm just going to go and scribble something. I'm just going to select this one. It's on a black background, so it's probably not that obvious, but let's make it larger. I don't want to make it in a straight line, so I'm just making it a little jagged. And that's it. My shape is created. I can put it on top of this one and it's going to get an effect here. But you know, I don't want it to be blue. I want it to be the color of the background. The background in this case is black. So PowerPoint has got a wonderful option to choose the shape background fill. I mean the slide background fill, sorry. How do you do that? This is one of the very lesser known tricks in PowerPoint. You can just go to gradient. No, I don't want to add in gradient, but I need to choose a gradient option to get to the format task pane. So I just go and choose more gradients here and have this option over here that says slide background fill. You'll notice the slide background fill is not available here, so I had to go to the gradient option to get there. So I just go and choose slide background fill. For the line, I'm just going to say no line. So now it's going to take the color of the background, which is black here. The wonderful thing is I can just take this shape over here and take it to something with a blue background, and you can see it takes the color of the background, in this case blue. So that's a wonderful tray way, you know, and if I put on something with a white, it takes white. So always takes the color of your slide background. So let's remove that, come back here, and we have our one grunge element here. So I'm just going to press the control key. Notice the moment I press the control key, my cursor has a plus sign over there. Okay, and now I'm just going to select it and drag it down or up wherever I want it. And so since I don't want it in straight lines, I want it randomized, so I'm just going to go to the rotation handle and rotate a bit so it looks a little different. And then again, I'm going to press the control key again and drag it down, and this time I can make it a little more different. In fact, I can go and resize it here and make it thinner as well, so all of them don't have to be the same thickness. So let me just press the control key and drag it and take it up there. And what I can do now is I'm going to make it a little larger so that I can make it smaller here. What I'm trying to do is trying to get a thinner one. That should be thin, and also I'm going to get something which is shorter so it's not too long. So there it is. it's still smaller here. That was a nice element there. Let me press the control key and drag it again. Choose a rotation handle, drag a different element. Sometimes it looks good, something of that sort. Control it, drag it. Always try doing random rotation and stuff like that so that it doesn't look like you have geometrically placed them exactly like how you want to. Has to be random. Yeah, I think that should work. Maybe one more. You see, what we're doing now is freeform rotation, but if I press the shift button on my keyboard, then it's going to rotate in 15-degree increments. So you can just play with these shortcut keys over there in PowerPoint, modify your keys rather, and then have fun with them. So I have added all these shapes. So what I'm going to do now, I think I like what I have now, and so we're going to add some animation to one of them. So let's take our original text, move, and now what I'm going to do is go to the animation tab, choose animation painter, and paste it on one of those grunge lines so that has an animation too. Notice that this animation now actually has an on-click event. So when I go and play it now, it's going to play over there, it goes back, and when I click it for a second time, that plays again later and gets it back there. That's not what we want. Like what we did earlier, we're just going to go and set this to with previous for now. And now let's go and play it and see. So at least you can see that one of those elements goes there and comes back. Okay, and that's not exactly what we want, because it's always there at that point of time. What I want is the grunge element to not be there, come in while the animation is happening, and disappear before the whole animation finishes. To do that, we're going to add an extra animation here. So I'm just going to go to add animation, add an appear animation. So this is going to add an appear animation. I want it to come before the first animation happens on the grunge element right here, and I'm going to say with previous again, but now I want this to happen a few seconds after the first animation starts. So the animation exactly over here, what we saw was 4 seconds, and this is 4 seconds as well. So let's me put a delay of sort of say 0.1 second, and that should work. And then this is going to be with previous, so previous being the appear animation. Let's see what happens now. So this is good. I'll play it one more time. But it's not too subtle, so let's go and add a fade animation with that. So add entrance fade. Again, this fade can go right next to the appear animation, be with previous, and also I can increase the time. So say 1 second, and now let's go and play it. So it's much more subtle now. It happens smoothly and takes care of that. So we have an appear and a fade animation happening. We also need to have a disappear and a fade animation happening while disappearing as well. So let's go and select that animated shape again, add animation, exit disappear, which is the exact opposite of your appear animation. You're going to set it to with previous again, and now since it's a 4-second animation, I want the delay to be, say, 3 minutes 90 seconds. So I'm just going to go and put it 3.9. Okay, there's nothing called 90 seconds. That was an error actually, but PowerPoint actually divides them in, doesn't divide a minute into 60 seconds, it divides into 100 parts. So that's why it allows me to put an element like 3.9 over there. So it's a 3.9 seconds. It's definitely, technically it can't be 3.9 seconds, but you get the pattern. It uses a decimal for that. Similarly, we need to add a fade animation there as well. And this one's going to happen before the exit, and this is going to have a delay of 3 because I wanted to run for 1 minute, and with previous. So let's go and play this. There you go. It fades out over there, and when it comes out, it fades. It's actually faded out much earlier. Let me see what's happening there. Okay, yes, because my fade animation is here. I thought I put a delay of 3. I did not. Yeah, that should take care of this one. So it fades and appears, and it fades and disappears, and that's great, and that's what I wanted. So I don't really have to go and do the same thing for all the other elements that I have, the grunge elements. All I can do now is I can select this grunge element and choose animation painter, and then see which ones I have here. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to click on it. So it's added. The thing is, you just can't be doing it all the time for everything. So what you can do is, what I'm going to temporarily do is I am going to just give me a moment. I'm going to hide the text. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Secondly, I'm going to go to the design tab, and since it's always going to take the background color there, so I'm just going to go, let me just go and choose format background and just put a well, it's always going to take the background color of whatever we will do, so it's not really going to help. So we're going to manually go and select all of them. So I have this one which has got the animation added. Let me check it up. Okay, this particular one has the animation added. So I'm just going to go and double click on the animation painter rather than single clicking it. Okay, so what the double clicking does, it makes it sticky, so I can just go and add it multiple times to whatever I want there. So I'm going to click on this one, then I'm going to select, so I've done for 16, I'm going to select 21, reshape 22, and you can see they're all going to get animation one after the other. To make it easier, what we could have done is we could have first gone and animated the shape that we wanted, and then duplicated that shape rather than duplicating them earlier. But this should be done soon enough as well. It's just fun to know different ways of achieving the same thing. I might have added animation twice to something, but let's just not worry about that. Let's go and reveal our text box again, and now I clicked it outside, so this no longer has animation painter associated with it. Okay, the two of them which still don't have the effect applied. And these are the two ones. That is freeform 25 and 26. So I'm just going to select 16, click on the animation painter, select 25, add that, select 26, add it to that as well. I can click it outside or press the escape key to get rid of the animation painter. So you'll notice that, let's go again, that some of the grunge elements get shorter by the time we reach there. There's also some elements that don't get animated. I think this one still doesn't get animated. So you can see there's no selection here for shape 26 still. So let me just go and select any one of them. Click the animation painter again and click on shape 26 again. Yes, that was shape 26. So animation is always trial and error, playing with stuff and getting the best you can. Another way of achieving this, which probably will make it faster for you, is to go here, and you may wonder why I left the best part for the end. That's because I wanted to show you how everything is done. So I'm just going to let one of these shapes be here with the animation, move it here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the other freeform animations, get rid of them. So it's only 2 animations left now. Okay, I've managed to click on the text box over there and add those fade animations there as well, so I'll remove them. Okay, and now this is the easiest way to do it, and that is I'm just going to duplicate this one, get it here again. I'm going to hide the text box, and I'm now going to go here, down here and select all the grunge elements that I have, making sure that I don't select this one. And now I'm just going to go and say Ctrl G to group them. And all I have to do now is go to this particular shape and say Animation Painter, and then I'm just going to go to my group and add the animation to that one. It's not added. One sec. So just to make it easier for me to select, let me take the group out. Smaller. So I'm going to select this particular one, Animation Painter, and click on this. So this has the animation added. I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to get rid of it. Get my text box back there. Place it exactly as I want them here. And now they're all going to move at the same time, hopefully. And now let's go and play this. There you go. And now it's all smooth and done. I'm going to place a link for you to go and get access to this PowerPoint file, to go and play with it and see what settings I have used. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Have fun and hope to see you again.
Explore more concepts at Indezine.com.
Indezine.
Make better presentations. Fast.